What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run the North podcast. It's a little late, but happy Halloween, everybody. We're here. Geek is missing out on the best episode of this show. We are here. We're going to be talking about week 8, breaking down every game that went on, and we're going to be doing our picks for week 9 as always. We'll be doing our picks leaderboard update, our fantasy league update, and to open the show, we're going to take some of your questions from Twitter. But before we get into that, Miller, how you doing?
I'm doing incredible. Like I was telling you beforehand, this robe is the softest thing I have ever worn. I'm sitting here, I'm dressed as Spider-Man. I'm feeling fucking fantastic.
This is a good
All
day.
right.
This is a good
It's
day.
an incredible day. Hold on, let me get one of these in real quick.
Oh yeah, what a way to open the show.
Yeah.
What a way
Oh
to open
yeah.
the show.
Don't worry,
All
it's
right.
Coke. I'm not an alcoholic.
It's Coke. It's just Coke.
It's just Coke. I'm underage.
If
Not
you're listening,
underage, under the drinking age.
if you're listening on Spotify, you don't know if he's actually drinking Coke. So you should hop on over to YouTube and see if he's actually drinking Coke or not. That's a good little plug for the YouTube there.
Absolutely.
All
Plus,
right.
if you hop over to YouTube, you get to see Jake dressed as a banana.
Dude, I am
And this
wearing
is-
a banana costume with sunglasses right now.
I'm
You do
jealous.
not understand. This is one of the best episodes of any podcast I've ever recorded in my life.
I won't lie though, the green shirt kind of makes it look like you're an ear of corn.
You serious?
A little bit. A little bit.
I don't have a yellow shirt. I don't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't think about that. Fine, whatever. It's okay.
It's a double entendre. All right, it's a multi-purpose costume.
Fine, I am either a piece of corn or a banana. That is up
It's
to
up to your
you, the viewer.
interpretation.
Yes. I won't tell you what I am. You'll tell me what I am. Let's get into our questions. We took some questions from our Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, at Run the North Pod, you're going to miss all these listener mailbag opportunities. You're not going to be on the show. You're going to feel real stupid. So let's get right into it. Speaking of stupid, Grayson's first question. It's actually a good question. I'm sorry, Grayson.
First time ever.
Dolphins dark horse Super Bowl favorites? Question mark.
Dark horse favorites is a weird way to ask that question.
Well, I think what he means is, I mean, you can be a dark horse favorite for something. Like a dark horse Super Bowl favorite would be a team that everybody is calling a favorite, but actually is the favorite.
I mean,
that's the way I
but
interpret it.
That can apply to like all but 2 teams. Like there are 30. I guess not technically 30. There are like 15 teams that could be a dark horse favorite.
True. Okay. Well, are they a dark horse? I mean, they're a Super Bowl contender for sure.
I was going to say, yeah. And then on the flip side of that, I think calling them a dark horse contender is really underselling how good that team is.
Okay, here's what I'll say. I think the Dolphins will probably make it at the very least to the AFC Championship game. I would say. I don't know if we'll see what happens in Germany this week against the Chiefs. That's a big game. But
thank God you specified what you meant by we'll see what happens in Germany because good God.
A lot's happened in Germany.
We will be watching.
Because they really haven't beaten anyone. Like those narratives are stupid, but they're also like their resume does not help them. They have won a lot of games, but it doesn't look good when the only 2 teams that have beaten you are the only two like good teams you played. Like the Eagles and Bills are the only somewhat like good teams they've played this season, and they lost to both of them. So I don't know. I don't know if they're a Super Bowl favorite. If the answer is just straight up, are they the Super Bowl favorite? I don't think so. I think I would probably take the Eagles over them. I think I'd probably take maybe the Niners, but Brock Purdy kind of stinks, so I don't know about that.
I hate it. I hate the Purdy narrative. Whole other conversation, but anyways, continue.
I would take who in the AFC would I take? Maybe the Chiefs. So depends on what happens this week, I guess, too.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. Yeah, and the Ravens. I think I'd take the Ravens too. That's a close call. But I think the Ravens are really good.
Miami.
But yeah,
we all love Baltimore. Baltimore's like the north away from the north here on Run the North.
But yeah, we like them.
I think I would still lean Miami.
But yeah,
Especially now, I think the big thing with Miami, just so I can add a little bit of something to this
go
conversation
for it.
because I
Yeah.
just sat there. The big thing with Miami is we're finally going to get to see their defense at full strength, and not only at full strength, but playing the way they were intended to play. Because up until now, they didn't have Ramsey, and we already saw Ramsey have a massive impact in the first game he played. He had an interception, he forced a fumble. Like, that's going to be huge. And I feel like not a lot of people are talking about it because of how quickly Ramsey came back. I guess it just didn't resonate with people. But Vic Fangio was running his defense without his best secondary player for the first half of the season. And it was incredibly underwhelming because obviously you figure you give Vic Fangio the pieces Miami has on defense. It was going to be like a world beater, Legion of Boom, 85 Bears type defense, and it just wasn't.
Yeah.
But now that Ramsey's there, I think that's going to make a massive difference. And that's going
Oh,
to be
for
the
sure.
key to them beating like a lot of the bigger teams. And I know that isn't like some crazy hot take, but it's something I feel like not a lot of people are talking about right now.
Yeah.
And they really should be because Ramsey coming back is fucking massive.
Yeah. And Ramsey is a guy who, like, if you're playing the Chiefs, I'm not scared of any Chiefs receivers to the point where I would just put Ramsey on Kelsey.
Bingo. That's the
Like,
biggest thing right
I
there.
don't think there's anybody on the Chiefs who really scares me. And like there are other corners like Xavier Howard and even Cater Kohu, who
Darth
I guess
Cater.
is shaky. He's not the most consistent guy in the world, but he's not bad. He really isn't
You
like
got to remember the dude was
unstartable.
a UDFA last year.
Yeah, he
And
isn't
he's
like
still,
unstartable. Made
yeah,
some nice plays against the
yeah,
Eagles. So yeah.
exactly.
Well, we take those. I would just put Ramsey on Kelsey and see what happens. Hey, listen, the stats are there. If Taylor Swift isn't there, he's don't even have to worry
He's
about it. So
cooked.
he's
He's
cooked.
absolutely cooked.
So as long
Just
as Taylor
ban
Swift isn't
Taylor
in
Swift from
Germany,
all Chiefs playoffs games.
yeah, as long as Taylor Swift
That's
isn't
the
in
key.
Germany, the Dolphins should have this one in the bag on Sunday.
True.
So,
True. Listen, country of Germany, if you're listening, I don't know who their leader is right now. Ban Taylor Swift from your country for the weekend. Let's see what
no,
happens.
no fly list. She's done.
No fly
She's
list.
over.
No Eras tour for you, Germany.
No air restore.
You don't
Sorry.
deserve it.
Nope. You don't get to hear Taylor. It's for the greater good.
It is for the greater good.
Our next question comes from Steven. It is, what if Aaron Rodgers comes back? This isn't a what if anymore. He is.
It's
Like,
the
he's
unfortunate
coming
reality.
back. So the question is, what's going to happen when he comes back? I mean, the
The
Jets are going to
Jets
be
will be
really,
better.
really good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, dude. Like, they're winning games occasionally with Zach Wilson, but like Rodgers is just crazy. I don't know. Like, how does this happen? What did he do? It's impossible. What is he doing?
He
I don't get
sold
it.
his soul to
I
Big
don't
Pharma.
get, dude. The Hat Man and him are really just cooking. I mean, it's crazy. I don't
Genuinely.
get it, man. Like,
Genuinely.
so what if Aaron Rodgers comes back? The Jets are a Super Bowl contender again. I
Yeah.
doubt he comes back before the playoffs. I doubt it, even though they
Imagine
think
he
he will.
does.
I don't want him to. Actually, I want him to. I love Aaron Rodgers, but still, like, I just, how is it possible? I don't get it. I don't
Voodoo
know.
witchcraft
We're
bullshit.
not here to speak about medical science. I'm just confused as to how Aaron Rodgers is even close to coming back to playing football after tearing his Achilles week 1.
Right.
But this is a conversation for another time. So if he comes back, they're really, really good. If he doesn't, they're really, really bad. They're not bad, but Zach Wilson's.
I don't know. Did we watch the Giants game this weekend?
Yeah, it was a
They're
bad
pretty
game.
fucking bad. They're pretty
They
fucking
almost
bad.
lost to a team with -9 total passing yards.
Tommy DeVito, the
So
most Italian NFL player ever.
went to Syracuse, dude. Best
He
football
also
program
went
in
to
the country.
Illinois.
Oh man, the double whammy of good college football schools.
Orange.
Oh. Next question, also from Steven. Does the Rasul Douglas trade impact the Bills in a way that gets them over the hump? I'll let you take this one first, Miller.
I mean, I don't think Rasul Douglas is like a game changer, but considering how beat up their defense is. Here, riddle me this. Is Teron Johnson healthy right now?
My guess would be no. He very rarely is, but let me check.
Well, yeah, that's kind of where I'm headed with this, but I just want to make sure. Because no one's ever healthy in Buffalo anymore,
He's
especially
healthy.
on defense.
He's
Ooh,
listed
okay,
as active.
interesting. So I'm curious how they're going to use Rasul then. Because Teron
Yeah.
Johnson's been a goddamn stud in the nickel when he's healthy. I guess they think
Yeah.
Rasul's going to kick outside and be like their Trey White
He can.
substitute.
He
He can,
can.
but you're
Not
not
that
playing.
he's that good at it, but he can.
Right, right. Because he's going to be playing out of position, technically speaking, and he
Yeah,
has massive shoes to fill. I'm gonna say I don't think he like moves the Bills over the hump. He's an upgrade over like Khair Alam, but it's not like a game changing holy shit Buffalo's back type of move.
sure. Yeah, like also just from a Packers perspective, a third round pick for Rasul Douglas is good.
Yeah,
I
but your GM doesn't know how to draft in the third round, so it's okay.
no, he doesn't know the draft in any round.
Well,
So
especially
there's
not
that.
the third. Have you seen
Actually, yeah, no, it's
the
horrible. Yeah.
Josiah DeGuara, Tucker Craft?
Hey, you can't
Josiah
be out on
DeGuara.
Tucker yet. You can't be out
No,
on Tucker.
I
He didn't
thought
do
you were
anything
yelling at
yet.
me for DeGuara.
No, it was a little bit. He's a fullback, so I figured you wouldn't turn your back on
He's
him
a
like that.
fullback, but he is not a great one.
No.
He has very much disappointed me this season.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Packers offense. I got the
Why would
bananas
we
unhappy.
ever do that?
The bananas unhappy. Let's just say that.
This
Um,
banana needs to split.
but I do not think that this. To answer the question directly, I don't think it gets them over the hump too bad much. It's a
No.
good addition to a beat up secondary, but he's going to be playing out of position, and who knows
Yeah.
if he'll actually be good. Um, two questions from Steven that have nothing to do with the NFL. One of them is,
Ooh.
will I ever be happy again? And the answer is, I really hope so.
Will he ever be happy again? Is that the question?
Yeah, that's the question.
I don't know, dude.
I hope so. And
I also hope so.
the second is, why is life full of monotony?
Say
I
that
don't know why I
again?
put these. Why is life full of monotony? Which I gotta Google right now.
You don't know what monotony is?
No,
It's
I've definitely
something
heard
that
that.
is monotonous.
Oh, it's just repetition and routine. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
listen, man, just do more stuff that isn't
The
your
reason
usual
life is
stuff.
full of monotony is because we as creatures are very cyclical and very heavily based upon schedules, especially those of us who, may have ADHD, OCD, anything like that. It's very important to stay on a schedule. So, because you put yourself on that schedule to stay organized and stay sane, things start to feel monotonous because you're doing the same things over and over and over and over again every single day until you inevitably creep closer and closer to death.
Banana. That's my
Well
answer.
put.
Um.
Well said.
All right, back to football. From our good buddy Walter White, CEO. As of right now, the least amount of points the Indianapolis Colts have scored in any single game is 20, yet they are 3-5. What do the Colts have to do in the offseason to take the next step towards being contenders in the AFC other than getting Richardson back?
Well, clearly their defensive coordinator is not cooking. I have not watched a lot of Colts football this year, full transparency here.
They've scored like 21 points a
But if
game.
they're
So
scoring
like
20 a game and and they've only won 3, very clearly there's a defensive problem. And on paper, their defense shouldn't be bad. Their secondary is good. Their linebacker core is great. Their defensive line has a ton of studs across it. Big issue though, Grover Stewart's missed a lot of time because of being suspended. That doesn't help. Obviously, he's one of the more
no,
underrated
also,
defensive
is
linemen
their
in
secondary
football.
really that good? They don't have
Oh, I
Isaiah
guess
Rodgers.
yeah, no, I forgot about that. And Stephon Gilmore's gone too.
I don't
So
think they
it's
really had
just
that good of a secondary.
it's just Kenny Moore. There's your answer.
It's Penny
Get a
Moore and no
secondary.
safeties. I don't think.
Get a
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
secondary.
I'm pretty sure they're just getting torched in the passing game. That's a
Yeah, no,
big
that
thing.
makes sense.
That's been an issue with them. So yeah,
Yeah.
get a secondary is a big thing. Beef up the corner room a little bit. Getting
If
Isaiah
only they
Rodgers
would
back
have
will help
kept
too.
Darius Rush.
They cut Darius Rush.
Yeah, before he was like one of
Oh,
the first
I did
players to
not
go
know
on
that.
waivers and went unclaimed until the Chiefs, and then got cut again. I think he's in Pittsburgh now.
Man, that's crazy. I did not
Yeah,
know that.
no, it was a big
Okay.
deal when it happened.
Well, should have kept Darius Rush. Sorry, Colts.
Yeah, they've
But
got Juju Brents out there. And that's,
okay.
I mean, he's
Currently
cool,
not
but
good. Yeah, he's fine.
they
Um.
need a new defensive staff. They
Oh,
need to bolster
also,
the secondary. And they need to let
they
guys
need a new
develop.
offensive line. They need that
Yeah,
too. They need a new
certainly.
offensive line badly. Because Anthony Richardson's
Colts need
gonna
a
die.
lot.
He's gonna
Yeah.
die. They need a lot. I don't think that the Colts are actually that close to being contenders in the AFC. It's a tough conference.
Yeah.
They're in a tough division because the Titans somehow always find a way to be competent, and the Jaguars are going to be one of the best teams in football for years to come. The
And
Texans are on the
Houston's on the
rise,
come up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's really no escaping it. I mean, they have at the current moment the second best quarterback in the, third best quarterback in the division. I'm not putting Richardson over Stroud quite yet. I won't put Levis
Yeah.
over Richardson
No,
quite yet
definitely not.
either. So I'm gonna
I
put him
think
third, but still.
Stroud looked better than Levitt or better than Richardson this year, but I do think Richardson's going to be the better quarterback. So
Eventually, yeah. So eventually he'll be the second best quarterback in the division.
I don't even think it's eventually. I think it'll be as soon as next year.
When Trevor Lawrence gets traded to Green Bay, he'll be the best. So we're cooking. We are cooking.
You are stuck with Jordan Love. Accept your fate. Accept your fate. Accept your fate. Accept your fate.
So good in the green and gold.
No one has ever
wait.
looked good in green and gold.
Drew Lock.
No one.
Baby. Drew Lock.
No one has ever looked good in green and gold.
Oh
How bad is this?
yeah.
How cancerous is this?
That's not that bad. It's just kind of like muffled, like you're speaking through
Okay,
like a
good.
red Solo cup.
Good. That was the effect I was going for. I didn't want this to be horrific.
Well, okay. From Jarrett. Will the Bears turn it around before my mental health completely deteriorates into nothing and I go into a psych ward? The answer is no.
Jarrett, we will be in the white padded room together, my friend. I'm already there. You just can't tell. This is a really good green screen.
Speaking of the Bears turning it around, I suppose we can kind of
straight jacket.
I suppose we can kind of touch on something that they did yesterday as we go throughout some of these trade deadline moves. We'll sprinkle them in a little bit.
Are we done with questions?
No. I mean, I feel like now that we're talking about the Bears turning it around, we can just kind of sprinkle in some.
Oh, okay. I see. I get you.
Trade deadline stuff.
Dude's jumping around. He can't just stick to one thing. Threw me off.
Fine. Next question. No trade deadline talk.
We'll come back to it.
From Owen, is Tyreek more valuable than Tua this year? And if so, does he deserve the MVP award?
More valuable than Tua, yes. Will he get MVP? No. Does he deserve it?
No.
Perhaps.
I don't know if he deserves it.
Lamar deserves it.
Lamar deserves it currently.
Let me rephrase that. I will say, and this is not a slight at Tua by any means, but Tyreek Hill is literally unguardable at this point in his career. There is nothing you can do. And that value is, I mean, it's
one man who did it out for the year, so it's over. Yeah.
Right. So at this very moment, yes, Tyreek's more valuable than Tua. Will he get MVP? Certainly not. He's a wide receiver. The NFL voting committee doesn't recognize those players.
Does he deserve
it? Maybe, but others deserve it.
If it wasn't for Lamar, yes. He'd be my outright favorite, I would say. Oh, this is a good one. We had to really think about this one. Audible Sportscast, current top 5 wide receivers in the NFC.
Ooh, in the NFC, that... So current as in currently playing or current as in currently rostered? Because that big difference on
I'm going to say just assuming they're all healthy. I'm going to say assuming
Jefferson,
they're all healthy.
Brown, Moore, Ayuk, Evans.
Okay. Yeah, Jefferson.
Am I forgetting anybody?
Jefferson and Brown.
Easily 1 and 2.
Moore.
In the NFC.
Ayuk, McLaurin.
I like Mike Evans more than Terry, especially with the year Terry's having, which is not existing.
He's been fine.
He's been very underwhelming by his standards.
And I don't think Mike Evans been that great. He's been okay.
Mike Evans has been pretty damn solid.
Trying to think.
Where
am I throwing Kupp in? Is he?
Oh yeah, Cooper Kupp. Shit.
I think Kupp probably goes at 4 or 5. Maybe he goes ahead of Ayuk and Ayuk's 5, or maybe even goes ahead of Moore. He goes at 3. Yeah,
I'm putting Ayuk over Kupp right now.
Okay.
Now we're talking right now. Right now.
I suppose. Yeah.
That can very easily change if Cooper Kupp is just Cooper Kupp again over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But at this very moment, I would rather have Brandon Ayuk with the season
Yeah.
he's having. Because
I
the
said
way I look at it,
Jefferson.
Jefferson's the best receiver in football. Brown and Moore have gone absolutely nuclear. And then Ayuk has been incredible, one of the best route runners in football. And then Cooper Kupp's Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. Those are the 5. I'm not sure what order
Yeah.
I'd have the other 3 in, but those are the 5. AJ Brown might be a top 5 wide receiver in just football in general. I mean, that guy is insane.
He's top
So,
3.
Jefferson, Tyreek, yeah, I guess. Wanna
Between
hate
him
on
and Tay
Devontae
for
like
3
that.
for me. It's
Yeah.
not hate. It's just
This
accepting
guy
the
is
reality of the
Devontae
situation.
Adams.
I actually like Devontae Adams a lot, and I feel very bad for him. He went from playing with a narcissist to playing in a shithole.
Well, they're getting better. They made some good decisions.
They did the right things, but we'll
They
see
did
how
the
long
right
that lasts
things.
because it is the Raiders.
Yeah. All right. Last question. A lot of people are saying that an AFC team will win the Super Bowl. But if it is an NFC team, who are your top 3 teams that it would be?
Who's this coming from?
His name is Riley. I'm going to go Eagles, Niners. The Lions they're not there. They're not there.
And then there's the NFC South.
You know what? Seahawks.
I'm going to go
Seahawks or the Cowboys. Seahawks or the Cowboys.
Niners are number 1 for me. Then Philly. And then I agree, either the Niners or either the Seahawks or the Cowboys.
Yeah, the options are just so limited.
It's pretty much those 4. Like,
Yeah.
I think they're the only true contenders in the NFC.
Yeah, and the Seahawks, I think, are fringe. I don't know if they're really. I don't know if Gino's good enough, and Dak might not be good enough either. So I don't know.
Dak, I disagree with. Gino, he's been very up and down, but I don't know. They're giving teams fits now. They just traded for. That's the thing, though. I'm kind of overvaluing the Leonard Williams trade in my head because it's new and it's shiny.
They got fleeced.
They not only did they get fleeced, Leonard Williams is kind of mid at this point. Like, he's a cool run defender, but as a pass rusher, what does he have left? You know.
Yeah.
So, I'd probably go Dallas over Seattle. With Seattle as an honorable mention, we'll put it that way. And we'll just push the NFC South into the corner and pat them on the head and give them their participation trophy.
Yeah, because it ain't no way any of them are going anywhere past the wild card because they are terrible.
Sir.
All right, let's before we break down week 8, let's talk about the trade deadline, I suppose. Starting off with Miller's team, the Bears traded a 2nd-round pick for Montez Sweat. Miller, how do we feel?
My opinion changes about this every 5 minutes. And I'd like to point out to start, nothing to do with Montez as a player. Montez Sweat is everything I love in a defensive end. He's big, he's fast, he's long, and he loves playing run defense. That man, you put run defense in front of him, and he's like, oh my god, who was it? He's like Shams. He's like lunchtime, lunch. It's ready. Oh my god, like they're genuinely speaking, and this is gonna. I keep bringing this up like I'm some sort of fucking weirdo. I'm not. I just love the sport. After I got back last night from doing Halloween stuff, I sat down for 2 hours and did nothing but watch Montez Sweat film. And I shit you not, I had more fun watching that man set the edge than I did watching him rush the passer. It's just beautiful because he's so big and he's so long that like he can move offensive linemen at will and like create so much space and can read them. It's just perfect, right? Love Montez as a player. Very excited to have him in Chicago. What scares me is the fact that this trade was made without having a deal in place immediately for an extension.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I don't think Poles can't get it done because maybe he can, maybe he can't. I'm cooled off on him quite a bit now with the whole Jalen Johnson thing. I'm not sipping the Poles Kool-Aid anymore, right? I'm ready to hold him accountable. I still stand by a lot of what I said, defending him in terms of like the moves he's made because I do like a lot of the moves he's made. But with the whole deadline situation, the way he handled it worries me. So if you trade a second round pick for Montez Sweat and he ends up being a half-year rental, this is worse than the Claypool trade.
Oh,
By far and
100%.
away.
Yeah.
If you get an extension done with Montez and he's in Chicago for the next 4 to 5 years, this is one of the best moves Poles has made. Like the ceiling, well, I would say the best
first
is
overall pick. Yeah.
I would say the best is drafting Darnell Wright at 10, because trading down from one, anybody could do that. It's not that hard to trade down.
I guess. Yeah.
Especially from the top pick. Now, you can make an argument with holding his ground, needing DJ Moore in the trade, sure. I just think drafting Darnell Wright was a bigger deal. With all the pressure with get defensive linemen, get Jalen Carter, blah, blah, blah. And he just said, nope, I'm going to take Darnell Wright. He looks like a fucking superstar in year one, right? So, again, ceiling, this is one of Poles' best moves. Floor, this is the worst thing this man has done, and he should be fired for it. But I love Montez Sweat as a player, and at the very least, I'm going to enjoy the next 7 or so games of him playing defense in Chicago.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is a good move. I think it's a terrible move if he doesn't resign, which there's not a guarantee. There is no guarantee that he is a Chicago Bear after this season. But there should be optimism.
Certainly.
I definitely do know that he wanted to go to the Falcons, especially. So
Yeah,
there's
and that's
that.
the
I
other
don't
thing.
know. He has a connection there. I don't know.
Yeah, he's from that area, but my hope is that the reason we know the extension didn't get done beforehand because Poles swooped in at the last second.
And also, like, he even said, I got to figure out what's going on before I do
And that's
that.
what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm really hopeful he's going to realize, like, okay, this is where I'm at now. They're going to fire the fucking morons I'm about to have to deal with for the next half season. And, I will be arguably the best player on this defense, depending on what happens with number 33. So maybe he'll revel in that and be like, yeah, I could be the man here, And Chicago has a metric dick ton of money that they can pay him. So
True.
we'll see what happens.
True.
And I don't care what anybody says. Montez Sweat, I would imagine money-wise is going to get something similar to what Rashawn Gary just got, if not a tiny bit more. And people are going to look at that as an overpay. I think that would be a ridiculous thing to say. Edge rushers are invaluable. He's one of the more productive ones in the league right now, and with his run
Rashawn
defense.
Gary deal was perfect, by the way. Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
I think that was
I thought he was underpaid.
Maybe even.
If any.
Yeah. I mean, that was a fine
then
deal.
again, the underpay comes from his potential rather than what he's actually been because of the coming off the big ACL tear and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah.
So I understand why it was.
But yeah, I wouldn't
lower.
be surprised if Montez got. He'll probably bump it up, especially knowing that Gary got what he got.
Yeah, because the point, like, I don't think Montez Sweat's going to be out here begging for Brian Burns money, right? Whatever he's about to get, Montez isn't going to get that, and that's what matters. So, I like the trade. I'm just I'm cautiously optimistic. We'll put it that way.
Sure. Yeah. Speaking of Washington edge rushers getting traded, Chase Young, they were rumored to only be trading one of them, and they traded them both. Chase Young is a San Francisco 49er, which is just fantastic for them because they're a D lineman factory. They have one of the best D line coaches in the NFL. He's playing alongside Javon Hargrave and Nick Bosa. I mean, perfect scenario for him. A third round pick is pretty cheap for a guy who was a second overall pick. I love it. I mean, I don't know. I think Washington could have just held on to him as opposed to just getting a third rounder for him. But
the issue is apparently the Commanders wanted to get rid of Young and not Sweat. Because I've seen a lot of reports that Chase Young, like the Commanders said, essentially getting rid of Chase Young is addition by subtraction, because apparently he is not the greatest locker room guy. Like I saw one report specifically saying they were upset with some of the habits he developed, one of which being that he will often abandon his assignments, like in the run game and as a pass rusher, to try and make splash plays and try to like play hero ball almost as an edge. And when you have a guy who has had limited production throughout his career and has a lengthy injury history, and he's trying to play the all about me game, I get it, especially with a team that is about to fire its coaching staff, has a brand new owner, is looking for a real identity. I understand why Washington would want to get rid of him. And I understand why he went so cheap to San Fran. Also, because it seems like he's going to be a rental. Like, I don't think the 49ers are going to re-sign him. And I saw a lot of people talking about that's why the Bears didn't want Chase Young. A big reason was because he was guaranteed to be a rental if he went there. And the same thing might apply in San Fran. Maybe a little bit less so because San Fran's a better team. We'll have to see. But Chase Young is in the best statistical season of his career by far. He's been legitimately dominant. And you're going to put him opposite Nick Bosa with Javon Hargrave in the middle and Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw behind him. Fuck.
Cook. Yeah,
Cook.
Fuck. Yeah. I mean,
what the hell?
Yeah. Less exciting than the first two we talked about, but Donovan Peoples-Jones is a Detroit Lion. Yeah. I don't really know how to feel about that one.
Well, for
it's
the Browns, it makes a little bit of sense because they have had an abundance of wide receivers. I don't know what DPJ's productions look like this year. I'm going to be totally honest. But when you have Cedric Tillman sitting on the bench, and he was a very polished wide receiver prospect that I liked a lot. I like that move for them for the sense of getting off of a contract and giving a younger guy reps.
Yeah.
And additionally to that, Detroit, they're buying at the deadline. They need another receiver because Jamison Williams has not been what he's, kind of been touted to be. He's had some flashes here and there. And also with Marvin Jones, I don't know if we're calling it a retirement or if he's just stepping away. With him being gone, you need another receiver. So I like the move more for Detroit than I do for Cleveland.
Yeah, he has 97 yards this season.
Okay, well then Cleveland's just moving off a non-productive receiver, and Detroit's taking a gamble on a guy that's going to be like the third or fourth guy for them. So that's a good move both ways.
The Vikings made a couple moves. They traded away Ezra Cleveland to the Jacksonville Jaguars in exchange for a late round pick. I don't know how I feel about this one because I was talking about this on Twitter a little bit. I think it's okay, but Ezra Cleveland is 3 years younger than Dalton Risner. I don't know how much longer they're going to have Dalton Risner. I don't know how much longer Dalton Risner is going to be good. And Ezra Cleveland is a great run blocker. Could use some work in the pass blocking game, but he can get there. And I think trading away a younger, really good depth piece also, even if Dalton Risner is the guy. I mean, like, he's a very good depth piece, especially an offensive line that is super shallow and has very little talent beneath the starting five. So I don't get it. I think this is a dumb one. I think the Jaguars are good for making it. I don't necessarily see it as much from the Vikings perspective. I get it. You got some value out of him, and Risner might be the guy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it boils down to. They're confident in Risner, and this is a team that I know they're. It seems weird to say, but they're not in a position to do anything now that Kirk's hurt. So I guess they were just trying to move off from a player while they could get some sort of value off of them, almost be sellers, which I know contradicts them trading for Josh Dobbs, which we'll talk about. But I don't know. I think it's fine. I definitely like it more for Jacksonville, considering that they needed help on the offensive line. But I don't see it as like a horrible move for Minnesota like I did initially because I forgot Dalton Risner was in Minnesota. So I think it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say it's okay. And then finally, the Vikings traded for their quarterback of the future, Josh Dobbs. He's gonna maybe win them a couple football games, which I don't necessarily know if that's what they want. He's either going to play them into a playoff position and they'll get smacked, or he'll play them into a position where they just don't get a good quarterback. Like, I don't see this ending positively for them. Either they make a really weak playoff run in a weak division, or they win just enough games to play themselves out of their future quarterback. So I don't see trading for quarterback when you could just start Jaren Hall and see what happens.
I mean, the crazy thing is starting Jaren Hall this week.
Well, because Dobbs got it's like a 3-day turnaround for Josh Dobbs. Like,
well, I know, but still, I don't know. This one, it doesn't move me.
Not at all.
I like Dobbs. He's a good
He's been playing some pretty bad
Fitzpatrick
football.
type player. Oh, has he been playing bad recently?
He's been pretty bad these past couple of weeks.
That's tough.
It's tough because I like him a lot, but yeah.
Right. I like him. He's smart. He's a savvy veteran, even if he's playing poorly right now. But this doesn't do anything for Minnesota. This doesn't push them into contending, like you said. I don't know. I really don't know. This is like a panic move from the Vikings almost. Even though it's a very low risk panic move. It's not like they gave up real draft capital for him, but it doesn't do anything for me. It's not a bad trade because of how low the price was. And I guess you're getting a veteran in the room to mentor Jaron Hall, if nothing else, but doesn't do anything for me.
All right, let's break down week 8 here. Let's get into some games. Thursday night football. Bills 24, Buccaneers 18. I am worried about the Bills just slightly.
Yeah.
It was a rough one. It's a win, but it was a rough one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm upset about that last play. Like, I'm not somebody who likes to bitch about the refs and likes to bitch about calls. And I know you're not supposed to call plays or call a penalty on a Hail Mary, but like, have you seen how bad it was in the end zone for Tampa? Wonderful. This is wonderful. Anyways, while Jake is frozen, I'm going to continue talking. So I don't know. It was so rough. Oh,
I think I'm here.
there we go. Now he's back. Did you hear what I said?
Are you serious? Give me a break. All right, we're good.
Did you hear what I asked?
No.
Did you see the final play?
No.
Okay. There were 4 receivers getting straight up mugged in the end zone on that Hail Mary. And I'm not talking like, ticky-tack DPI. I'm talking like wrapped up, getting tackled, getting thrown around. Like, it was bad. And nothing was done about it. And again, I know it's a Hail Mary. You're not technically supposed to call anything. They don't want us to talk about the Bucks, dude.
What happened? I need to know.
You're working now, but it's the quality has dropped. At least on my end. I don't know how this is going to record. I wonder if it's going to have you cutting out or me cutting out. I don't know how StreamYard does that.
I don't know either.
Oh, lordy. This is wonderful.
Mm-hmm. So what happened on the last play of the Bucks and Bills?
Yeah, so the Bucks receivers got mugged in the end zone. Like, they were getting tackled, they were getting thrown around. And also Chris Godwin had an opportunity to make a play on the ball and didn't, so it's tough. I'm more mad that the play didn't work than I am that like they didn't throw a flag on it or whatever.
Sure.
Because that comeback would have been incredible. Baker with the magic. It's just that team cannot run the football.
No.
Which is a massive detriment to them. And it's not Rachaad White. It's the play calling. Their run game consists of a one trap and inside. That is it.
This is crazy. It just won't stop. It just won't stop stopping.
Anyways, the Bucks only run 0-1 trap and inside zone to run the ball. I don't think I've ever seen them run to the ball to the outside or off tackles or anything like that. So it's all right. I'm just going to keep talking. The run game's brutal. And because of that, they have no chance to establish the run, to run clock, to put together meaningful drives, and teams know what they're going to do, right? When you can't establish the run, your passing game becomes stale. And that is exactly what is happening in Tampa right now, especially with a quarterback like Baker Mayfield, who is not a game changer, who is not a superstar. It's just never going to work. So when you're stuck in this type of situation, there's very little they can do. There's very little they can do to to fix their offensive situation, and it puts their stars like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in very disadvantageous situations. I don't know why disadvantageous came out of my mouth like that. But anyways, we'll move. Buffalo. Ooh, I don't know. I they're just the most inconsistent contender in the world. This isn't news. This is what Buffalo has been. That at least the last couple of years. They're a contender. They have a great roster, but the injuries hold them back greatly, and they just can't ever put it together. And Josh Allen thankfully didn't have one of his games where he's ready to throw it away, but he will have games like that, and that obviously sets Buffalo back and puts them in a bad situation. So I don't know what to make of either team right now. Well, take that back. I know what to make of Tampa. They're not going to go anywhere. They're pretty rough. But Buffalo, I don't know what to make of them at this point. Jake has lost the banana, but he has returned.
It's over. It's so over.
Yeah. So I just gave my full thoughts on Tampa and Buffalo. So if you'd like to throw anything out, please.
Bills aren't real contenders. Let's move. Okay.
Yeah, I describe them as the most inconsistent contenders in the world. So
Yeah, they pretty much are. Jets Giants. 13-10, terrible game from everybody who played in this football game.
Do we really have to talk about this
good.
one?
I really don't want
the Jets punter, Thomas Morstead.
Hey, Thomas Morstead, props to you, my man. You're the guy. You're him. Well done. Thomas Morstead, we salute you.
I take it back. I do want to ask one thing.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of people throwing this out on Twitter, and I'm curious as to what you think.
Go for it.
Is Brian Daboll on Matt Nagy watch?
Yeah, 100%. I'm not actually sure he's that good. He does not have the best to work with. I understand. It's Tyrod Taylor and Tommy DeVito and Daniel Jones. They are terrible. However, that didn't matter last year. And now all of a sudden it does. Like last year he painted himself as a guy who could overcome this kind of thing. Daniel Jones, he's playing worse football than he did last year. I think just in general. I think he got worse.
Yeah.
Objectively, he's playing worse football. But I also wonder how much of that is Daboll not being as good of a coach as he was last year. Is there any piece of that is Daboll? I don't know. I think he's on Matt Nagy watch. I do not think I'm ready to call him a Matt Nagy level coach yet. I don't know if I'm ready to call for his head and call for him to be fired. This year's just been so weird with injuries and Daniel Jones' health and everything. But, I mean, it's the same exact thing. I mean, to a T, you win coach of the year and you lead a team to the playoffs, and then the next year your offense is garbage and everybody hates you. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to put him on like
a playoff game.
It's just true. Daboll won the game. But like the game that Trubisky and that offense lost wasn't even that. It's not they got blown out. So like,
no,
I don't really know if
it was literally because of the field goals. So
yeah, they should have won that game.
Brian Daboll is Matt Nagy with a better kicker. That is the moral of the story.
Quite literally, it's just Matt Nagy with Graham Gano, right? So yeah, I don't know. I've been talking a lot about this in different circles, and I'm a little lower on Daboll currently. I think we may have jumped the gun a bit on him last year.
What can you do?
But yeah, Zach Wilson led a game-winning drive, and that's about all that happened in this game. So
he did indeed.
We will we'll call that one.
Better Jaguars. Than Rodgers.
Yeah, better than Rodgers. It doesn't even need to come back. They're fine.
Cut him. Cut Rodgers.
Cut him. Trade him.
Make him go work at a Rite Aid.
Yeah. See how he likes that.
Yeah.
Jaguars 20, Steelers 10.
Oh my god. The Steelers fans, dude. PSA for you. Okay. If your team lost because of the refs, they didn't lose because of the refs. There was something else that happened during the game that could have saved you, that you could have done that would have made the outcome more preferable. Now, I know there was the field goal that got wiped off or whatever. Sure. Bad calls happen. You didn't lose the game because of that. You lost the game because your quarterback got hurt and Mitch Trubisky had to come in, and Mitch Trubisky's dog shit. Kenny Pickett getting hurt is not a ref's fault. It's not how football works. It's nobody's fault. It's a freak accident. It happens. It's football, right? Hope Pickett's all right. I don't know where he's at with his injury right now. I don't know what the verdict on him is, but
He's playing tomorrow, so I think it's good.
okay. Wonderful. Glad he's all right. Mitch Trubisky sucks. Joey Porter Jr. is very good.
Yeah, and the thing about Pickett getting hurt and them having no pass game with Trubisky, they also can't run the football.
Yeah.
So, because Matt Canada is their offensive coordinator.
And also Najee Harris is their running back.
Actually got out carried. No, he didn't. Never mind. He got out produced, not out carried. But he got
because Najee Harris sucks. I'm 239 pounds and I'm afraid of contact.
For whatever he did. Shout out Jalen Warren for whatever
I
don't know what he did.
What did he do?
Let's find out live on the show.
He better have shot a man.
Let's see.
To lose almost a full game check, he better have shot somebody. I'm not going to name a name because I don't want to wish that upon someone.
What did he do? Oh, it's just a block that he made against the Rams a couple weeks back. He just blocked Michael Hecht.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He actually has been fined $90,000 total this season. Because
teach that boy how to block. God damn.
Because he hit one Thornhill week 2.
He hit him or he blocked him incorrectly?
It says his hit on Juan Thornhill. I don't have a video, but it says his hit on Juan Thornhill. Either way, Jalen Warren has been being robbed by the NFL currently because he can't block. The Jaguars side of things, yeah,
good football.
They're good. I mean, Travis Etienne's really good. 3 catches for 7 yards and a touchdown, 24 carries for 79 yards, which isn't great. I mean, that's 3 yards a carry. 24 carries though is
Josh Allen's also very good. I don't know if he did anything.
Josh Allen's very good. But Andrew Wingard sighting.
Oh yeah, white boy safety.
Got a pick. There we go. He picked off Trubisky. Antonio Johnson picked off Trubisky.
Threw an interception to a white defensive back.
And he threw into Antonio Johnson too. Yeah.
Ban him from the league. I know. Throwing an interception to a white defensive back should be a executable
also,
offense.
Speaking of you not knowing his stat line, Josh Allen had 2 sacks in this game, so shout out him.
That means I think that means he surpassed his sack total last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Already, yeah. I mean, he's crazy. He's top 5 in the league in pressures. He's really,
had 11 against the Saints, dude. 11 pressures. Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of pressures, I do have to point out Dexter Lawrence had 15 against the Jets.
I really wish that he could win Depoy because he might.
Dexter Lawrence, a fucking nose tackle, had 15 pressures.
We should start the Dexter Lawrence Depoy campaign.
No,
I'm going to start it at least.
I'm sorry, I'm on the Fred Warner train. The best defensive player in football, Fred Warner.
Who was the last middle linebacker to win Defensive Player of the Year?
Exactly.
Was it Ray Lewis? Did he win Defensive Player of the Year?
Probably.
That's probably Ray Lewis. Listen, I'll be celebrating. I love Fred Warner. I think that'd be sick.
Let's find out here. The last Mike linebacker, Kuechly in 2013.
Okay, that makes sense.
And before that, it was Urlacher in 2005. I couldn't remember if Urlacher or Lewis had
Ray Lewis in 2003. Lewis won in 2000. So he would join a very exclusive list of inside middle linebackers to win the MVP.
If you won Depoy, that's his Hall of Fame candidacy solidified in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't want it to be an edge rusher. Anybody but an edge rusher. I'm sick of these edge rushers.
Anybody.
Myles Garrett, and then anybody else, but that isn't an edge rusher.
He started this goofy trend of defensive ends lining up over the center, and I don't like it. It's rude to centers.
It's sorry.
I'll have to find the tweet and send it to you. There was a picture of it was Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, and Danielle Hunter all lining up against their respective opponent's center, and the tweet was like, "This just isn't fair."
It's true. It isn't.
And I mean, it's literally them just like they're they got that like slight hunch, and they're in their like athletic stance. They're not down, and no hand in the dirt. They're like rushing off the edge, but at center. What do you do?
Being responsible for snapping the football, and then the second after you snap it, Myles Garrett is in your face and already past you. Yeah.
But the shitty thing is, it wouldn't be easy, but I feel like there's a pretty obvious way to counteract that. I just don't know with these edge rushers if it's possible. Like if you just go for like actually not only possible but ethical, because technically speaking, low man wins. Just if they're already standing straight up, just go for the knees, but like, injuries and whatnot. But that's what's going to end up happening. Is one of these premier edge rushers, they're going to line up over a center. The center's going to say like, all right, fuck you. They're going to go for the knee to protect their quarterback. Somebody's going to get hurt and the NFL is going to want to ban it.
Yeah.
That's my way too early prediction on how this is all going to end.
Probably. Yeah.
Because that's what if you're just standing straight up over top of a center, that's what you're asking for, is one of them to go at your knee. I don't know. It's cool. It's like a cool all-22 screenshot, but I feel like it's going to end very poorly.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Eagles Commanders gave us another banger. Eagles 31, Eagles 38, Commanders 31.
Sam Howell, dude.
Sam Howell is a good quarterback.
Yeah. Also, Julio Jones sighting? Game-winning tud?
Julio Jones tutty. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's back.
We are so back.
Bad day for the Kenneth Gainwell agenda.
It's been a bad year for the Kenneth Gainwell agenda.
2 carries for -4 yards and a fumble. Oh. Way to be, Kenneth.
They're
set. RB1.
The Eagles are setting him up. It's a ploy. I'm going to start investigating Sirianni. All right, Jake, have you ever seen the movie Spotlight?
No.
Okay, so essentially, Spotlight. It's a movie about the Boston Globe investigating all the like crooked priests going on up there, like the Catholic Church and the kitty touching and all that. Yeah, it took place in the early 2000s. This is going to be my Spotlight investigation as a journalist. Why are the Eagles fucking over Kenneth Gainwell?
Why do they hate Kenneth Gainwell?
Nick Sirianni is my Catholic church.
Not good?
They hate him. They are actively scheming against him to give DeAndre Swift more carries.
Speaking of sightings, Jahan Dotson sighting.
Benched him in like 5 fantasy leagues this week and paid the price.
Jamison Crowder sighting. 7 catches for 95 yards and a tud.
What?
Jamison Crowder.
What did Terry have?
5 for 63 and a tud.
What did Terry have?
5 for 63.
He got out-received by Jamison Crowder?
More catches, more yards, same amount of tutties. Yeah.
That was a really shitty bit. I was trying to do like washed. Like I was washing myself. That was really shitty.
He's not washed. Shut up. He's a good receiver. He's a fine receiver. He is a receiver.
The scariest thing for Terry is expectations.
That's crazy. The Eagles are really going to the tush push, and it worked, and I hate it.
Dude, I just want to throw out there, I think my favorite thing about this game, I almost forgot about it, is Nick Sirianni during the press conference leading up to it was like, yeah, if everyone could do it, they'd do it. Just stop it. And then Washington did. And then Philly responded by saying, fuck you, we're just going to run it fake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're just going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I really hate
hilarious.
that the Rams got crushed because now when they beat the Packers, it's going to look even worse for the Packers this week. But
Well, no,
the
they
Rams
might not
got
have
smoked,
Stafford.
dude.
If they don't
I
have Stafford against the
still
Packers are going to win.
no. I still don't
I'm
believe that.
manifesting a Packers win. I need you to get as far away from the top 10 as possible.
Stop.
I am actively rooting for the Packers for the remainder of the season.
Caleb Williams?
No, I'm rooting for you to win.
Williams? Question mark.
Shedeur Sanders?
I'll take Michael Penix. Thank you.
Holton Ahlers?
I'll take. Give me Archie Manning. Give me Archie.
Holton Ahlers?
Archie Manning.
Holton,
no. Who is that? Stop
Holton
it.
Ahlers?
Who is that? That's not a real person.
He's a real
Stop
person.
that.
I don't know
He's
where
not
he
a real
plays,
person.
but I know he exists. No, Dallas, really good. CD Lamb. We talked about our top 5 receivers in the NFC, and we didn't say CD Lamb.
Yeah, because he's not a top 5 receiver in the NFC.
Yes, he is.
You taking him over Ayuk?
Right this second? Well, I had Ayuk at 4.
Taking him over Cup?
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, why are the receivers all so good? Why are there so many good receivers?
I don't know, man, but certainly
yeah,
he's not
you're
top
right.
5 in the NFC right now.
He's not. You're right. No. I forgot about Cup.
But
I keep
still,
forgetting about
CD Lamb.
He didn't play for half the year.
No, but we can talk about him. CD Lamb's really good. CD Lamb's really good at football.
Yeah, he's incredible.
It's crazy what happens when you get your best player of the football. It's insane.
Truly.
When you throw your best receiver the football, good things happen. Thank you, Dak Prescott.
Also, Deron Bland. Really good at football.
Deron Bland is just Trevor Diggs. He's just Trevor Diggs. He's on the same path.
He is Trevor
Diggs. He's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah. He's already tied or either tied or beat the record for most pick sixes in the first half of the season. And I think he's one away from tying the season record for pick sixes.
Crazy. Crazy.
Deron Bland. He is anything but bland, let me tell you.
Dude, he was good. He's been
not
good.
bland.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I'm
a
rough
firm
game for Stafford.
Deron Bland enjoyer. Yeah.
Got hurt.
He also got hurt.
Well.
The Rams
they can't run the football.
Williams.
Yeah, they can't run the football like Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
They can pass the football okay, but their leading receiver was Darrell Henderson. So,
womp
womp. Guess they can't. Puka 3 for 43 and Cooper for 4 for 21, with Ben Skoranek having their only receiving touchdown. So,
fullback Ben Skoranek,
fullback
better
Ben
than
Skoranek.
Josiah DeGuara. Anyways, do we have anything else to say about this game?
No. Other than Aaron Donald's still really good. He had 2 sacks.
Oh, yeah. He's Timothy.
Okay, Falcons-Titans. Let's Falcons-Titans. Well, we don't have to talk about the game before that. Falcons-Titans.
Is that the Packers game? Y'all lost to a team without Kirk without Kirk Cousins, right? Didn't Kirk get hurt like halfway through the game, or was it at the end?
Well, they outscored us with Kirk. Anyway, he threw 2 touchdown passes.
Who came in for Kirk? Was it Jaron Hall?
Yeah, he only threw 4 passes, so Kirk was there most of the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, all right, let's get into it. Yeah. Listen, it's been talked about on Twitter. I think there are very few scenarios in my mind at the current moment where we aren't exploring some kind of QB option after this season. He is just not good enough. He is okay, and he has had his moments this year, but he just is not good enough. The pick was not his fault. Jaden Reed just needs to hit the weight room. Should have had that ball. That was a good throw, good placement. Jaden Reed should have had that. It's a good play by the defender, ripping it away from him. Aaron Jones doesn't exist. He's not a person in Matt LaFleur's mind. He just decided that Aaron Jones is no longer a football player for his football team. The receivers are bad. It's all bad. The defense is bad. For some reason, they shouldn't be. They really, really shouldn't be bad. But I mean, Addison torched them, and it just when will the pain end? When will it all end? I don't know. But hey, Caleb Williams, welcome to Green Bay. You're gonna love it. Welcome to Green Bay, Caleb. You are going to love it. But in all seriousness, I'm not out on Love yet. But Goody said today that he is not sold on Love as the future of the franchise, which there's no reason why you should be at the current moment. Vikings played a decent game, nothing special from either team really. Yeah, it was tough. Fire LaFleur and Barry at the end of the season, and I'll be happy.
Okay, so my
I hate
only
this offense
takeaway
they're
from
running.
well, you can only do so much when you're limited at quarterback.
You can only do so much when you're limited by your head coach. So
I am more willing to blame Love than I am LaFleur.
I'm blaming them both, but I think LaFleur deserves some blame.
Yeah, sure. My main and only real takeaway from this game is I feel so bad for Kirk. I feel so bad for that dude. He's having objectively the best season of his career. Was dragging Minnesota out of the basement, and he gets ripped out in his prime with an Achilles tear.
Yep.
God, it's so tough, dude. Like, I know I've given Kirk shit in the past. I have definitely come around on him. I am a Kirk Cousins fan. Him and I, and you as well, are all cut from the same cloth. We're corny theater kids. But it's so tough to watch him go down like that, dude. I feel so bad for him. Like, fuck Minnesota, but not like this. You know, I'd rather them suck than fall off because of a bad injury like this.
Yeah.
It's so tough. So unbelievably tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His situation in the offseason is going to be incredibly interesting, though, with this, because I'm not sure if Minnesota's going to try to tag him or extend him, or if someone else is going to want him, or what's going to go on. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with him in the offseason now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This piece of hair is pissing me off. Close enough.
Falcons 23, Titans 28.
Will has arrived.
We never should have doubted him. I don't know why we did. I mean, he is exactly what his college tape said he would be. I mean, it's
the world asked.
The arm talent is there. Everything is there. I think he is right now a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. I think he should be their starter when Tannehill's healthy. Even, I think
he will be. Tannehill's.
I don't know if I want to go as far as to say he's the future of the franchise quite yet. It's been one game, but it's certainly looking like he could be. So fantastic.
If Ryan Tannehill plays another snap in Tennessee, it's organizational failure and borderline malpractice. There's no reason why he should play another snap as a Titan. Zero.
Dude, Levis he's good. Levis is a good quarterback.
And not only is Levis good, but
crazy.
Yeah, the offense has more life with Levis than it did with Tannehill. Tannehill is, 34, 35 now, multiple lower leg injuries. And he's just not good anymore. Tannehill's washed. But listen, to summarize my thoughts on this game, all right, to put it simply, the world asked, will Levis or won't Levis? And Levis did.
Levis
and did. I think that's
he did.
And I think
DeAndre Hopkins did. DeAndre Hopkins found his guy. Speaking of quarterbacks, we have official benching of Desmond Ridder. Taylor Heineke will start this week.
What can you do?
It happened. Yeah, I mean he's bad. Heineke's not great either, but Desmond Ridder is just bad.
Yeah.
So
it sucks. I like Ridder.
Give me a guy who's going to put some kind of spark in your offense. Raiders the most boring
Plot armor, baby.
quarterback in the world.
Listen, plot
Yeah.
armor plus dynamic offensive weapons.
He actually tried to get the ball to the weapons, which is good. It's just
Certainly.
good. He's going to do
We
that.
will be seated.
We will be seated. We'll see how that goes.
If nothing else, we will be seated.
McCorkle Jones and the New England Patriots taking on Tua and the Dolphins. 31-17 Dolphins over the Patriots.
Kendrick Bourne, dude.
What happened?
My heart. ACL.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure. Actually, I want to double check that. I'm like 95% sure it was ACL, but I
think he is out for the year.
Yeah, no, he's definitely out
I do
for the
remember seeing
year.
something about that. Man, the 1 year he's actually good at football.
Yeah, ACL. It's very tragic.
Yeah, the Mario Douglas season. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, Pop Douglas is him, dude. I love Demario Douglas.
Yeah, he's good. Like him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
also,
I mean
that Tyreek. Sorry, I just want to say Tyreek in this game was very much this. This was the game, I think, and I know I'm late to the party, but I think this is the game that finally cemented for me, like, oh, Tyreek's just unguardable.
Yep.
Like, literally. Not like in the funny, haha, he's very, very good type of way. Like, physically speaking there, you cannot guard Tyreek Hill. It is not possible.
No.
And that became apparent against New England this week. I don't know what it was. I don't even think Tyreek had, like, one of his maybe it's just the fact that it was the game where he hit 1,000 yards. That's probably what it was. Which, by the way, 1,000 yards in half a season. What the actual fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. He's gonna go for 2,000. It's insane. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna see it. I would have to assume he does it. He's crazy. Yeah, the Dolphins really just did their thing. They just came and just offensively beat the garbage out of their opponent. So there's not much else to say. I mean, Waddle and Tyreek both for over 100 yards and a touchdown. Just a crazy game from their receivers. Patriots secondary is cooked, apparently. I mean, they're hard to guard, but yeah, still. Yeah, I mean, there really isn't much else to say about that game. I mean,
yeah,
Dolphins are really good.
Which sucks because I was expecting this after the performance New England put on against Buffalo last week. I was hoping this was going to be like a clash of not clash of the Titans, but a clash of the AFC South AFC East being aggressive. And it was not.
No, it was not.
Also, 2 is 6-0 against Belichick.
Owns him.
Okay.
Owns him.
Okay.
Owns him. Does that go back? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I was trying to figure out that there was any Brady overlap, but there isn't.
No.
All right. Saints 38, Colts 27. Taysom Hill leading rusher with 2 tutties. I mean, Taysom Hill.
Okay. I literally have
Rashid
no thoughts
Shaheed.
on this game go.
Rashid Shaheed, 3 catches, 153 yards and 1 touchdown. Is crazy.
Madden ass stat line, dude.
Yeah, literally. Jonathan Taylor is here. That's good. Josh Downs is here, and that is good.
Yes.
Josh Downs is very good. Yeah. Again, that's about it. I mean, this is a very boring game. Minshew versus Carmen, just mid versus the battle of mid overall.
Yeah.
Colts are not fun to watch without Anthony Richardson, so there's no point. There's no point anymore. The Rookie Bowl. The Panthers get their first win of this NFL season. It is over. There will not be an 0-17 team this season. And the Bears no longer have the first overall pick because
for now, Kyler's back. It's okay.
The Cardinals do. CJ Stroud had it by far his worst game of the season. 16 for 24 with 140 yards. Bryce Young, however, 22 for 31, 235 and a tutty. Great game from him. He looked like a franchise guy, and he was fantastic. Stroud, obviously, still very good. Just don't know what happened. I didn't watch much of the game, so I couldn't really tell you why he played so good. But
I have no idea.
I mean, Noah Brown was their leading receiver. That's about all you need to know. This team is not ready yet. They're not ready yet, but they're getting there. Yeah.
Noah Brown leading receiver.
Y'all smell that? Y'all smell that? Let's not talk about that game anymore. Cleveland, Seattle, the Seahawks are 5-2. They are
Jackson and
rolling.
Jigba.
Jackson and Jigba, the guy whose name we heard called on draft night as Jackson and Jigba. Shout out to y'all who are listening on the stream. Man, called game, 3 for 36 and a tutty. That's all he did is called game on the one touchdown.
And listen, more importantly, that man helped me big time in our fantasy league this week. I was so scared because I had Jahan Dotson on my bench, and I was like, oh, I'm going to pay for it. JSN's not going to do anything. He had a tutty, saved my ass. More importantly, saved the Seahawks, saved them from being on fraud watch, turned them into buyers at the deadline, and beat the Browns, because fuck the Browns.
Yeah, Browns losing. Always a good day.
Yes,
DTR 1 for 9 yards. Future.
DTR threw a pass.
He did. Don't know why,
Wonderful.
but he did.
Wonderful.
Kareem Hunt, 55 yards. I don't know, man. The Browns are they're not serious at quarterback ever. So it's not going to work out for them this season.
Also, can we just acknowledge that the Deshaun Watson trade is the worst trade of all time yet?
I think it's pretty confidently is. Yeah.
Well, there's still a lot of people hanging on to Russ.
Russ isn't playing that bad, dude.
He's not.
He's not playing that bad this year.
He's not.
The Broncos, dude, we'll talk about that game in a second, but like Russ is not playing that bad. He's not cooking like he used to, but he's not playing that bad this year. So yes, this is by far the worst trade in NFL history. Gotta be.
Easily. Might be the worst trade in the history of sports.
Because not only did they give up a ton for him,
other leagues, but
they're paying him so much money. They are paying
and he
him
sucks.
so much money. And he sucks.
And he sucks. And he sucks as a human.
There's
not a single positive of this move.
He is terrible on and off the field. They're paying him a ton of money. They gave up any good asset they had for him. And they knew what he did. And they still did it. And it's crazy. I can't even fathom that. But yeah, worst trade in NFL history, and the Browns deserve every loss they take is just a joy. They deserve what they're getting. The Bengals are back, Miller? The Bengals are back?
Bengals good win game, baby.
Bengals good win game. Joe Burrow, only 4 incompletions, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 10 catches, 100-yard touchdown. I mean, okay. You mentioned this at the top of the show when I mentioned him, but you said you're sick of a certain Brock Purdy narrative. Which Brock Purdy narrative are you sick of, Miller?
That he stinks.
Okay.
I have flipped sides. I am pro
Elaborate.
Purdy. So, listen, here's the thing. The main criticism right now.
Go on.
No, it doesn't elaborate. No. The Purdy narrative right now is he stinks because the first time the Niners have dealt with like real animosity, or however you want to put it, real issues, he's falling apart, right? We got to remember, 2 out of the 3 games he played half of one concussed, and he played the other one coming off the concussion protocol suspiciously fast, right? So I'm going to go out on a limb and say the old thinker ain't 100% for Purdy right now. On top of that, they don't have Debo. They're missing one of their best weapons. And we forget this guy was the last pick in the draft last year. And all of a sudden, we're holding him to the highest degree of standards. All of a sudden, Brock Purdy has to be perfect in order for him to be a good quarterback. Like, come on. He's going to have his bumps, right?
Fault.
Right. No, it absolutely is. It's why fuck NFL media. Because they're putting, like, they set him up to fail, throwing him like that graphic. I'll never forget it when they were like, who's better, Purdy or Prescott?
Did you know that Purdy has never lost a regular season football game?
Right.
Did you know that?
Yeah. And this is the same thing like we talked about with Trevor Lawrence in his first year, because technically speaking, Brock Purdy also hasn't played a full season of NFL games yet. Like, this is still technically
Yeah.
it's his second season, but like still hasn't played a rookie season worth of games, right? We talked about this with
Yeah.
Trevor during his rookie season. He started out rough. Granted, his was a little bit more towards the coaching, but think about all the amazing quarterbacks ever that have had rough rookie years. Peyton Manning being the prime example, right? Brock Purdy was off to an incredibly hot start. It started to settle down. He went up against the best defense in football at the time. The Browns have kind of teetered away. But at the time, they were considered the best defense in football. And he actually had a good, like, closing drive. And then the defense just couldn't step up for San Francisco, right? Last week, he gets concussed. This week, he comes off concussion protocol suspiciously quickly. And much credit to Lou Anarumo. The Bengals defense is also fucking, like, absurd. And they were throwing everything in the book at this kid. Like, Jermaine Pratt had a really big game. The defensive line looked incredible. I'm not saying Purdy is like Justin Herbert, where he's immune to criticism, even though I don't believe that either. But you know, the narrative around him is that he's immune to criticism. I'm not saying Purdy's that. You can criticize Purdy. Let's just remember the context of the situation. This kid's played what 11 games. He was the seventh overall pick, the last pick in the 7th round last year. And we're acting like he's supposed to be a seasoned veteran who has led his team to 15 or not 15, but like 7 playoff appearances, been in the MVP conversation 4 times. Like, come on. Let's pump the brakes. Let's settle down. That's the main thing. We got to settle down. We went from one extreme to the other at the drop of a hat. We got to settle down.
I would agree. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's not playing great football. And I think that he shouldn't be held to such high standards, but I do think that he should also be criticized for the way he's playing because he's playing bad.
Sure. I'm not
So,
saying he's immune
I
to
think that
criticism. You can say
yeah,
Brock Purdy's been playing bad. It's
he
just
doesn't
Brock
I
Purdy's
don't
not a
think he
bust over the
stinks,
last
but
3
like
games.
he
Right, he doesn't
no.
suck. He's not a
No.
bust. He wasn't. I mean, he was a little bit overrated, but he's fine. He's going
Yeah.
through the growing pains that every young quarterback goes through. And he's
Yes.
shown way more than most young quarterbacks do.
Yes. So yeah, Bengal good win game. They're back. They are so back. Um if I had heard this stat line, I wouldn't have believed it. Patrick Mahomes, 240 yards and 2 picks. Russell Wilson, 114 yards and 3 touchdowns. Broncos 24. Chiefs 9.
They beat the
They did it. They
allegations.
finally beat Mahomes. They did it. After all this time, they beat Mahomes. And Russell Wilson played some pretty darn good football. And that is something that
Absolutely.
we haven't been able to say a lot this
Mhm.
time with the Broncos. This is good. Javonte
Mhm.
Williams is here. Jerry Jeudy. I mean, they only completed 12 passes in this game. It wasn't like some huge like gunslinger show. He really just kind of was.
Right.
I mean, they were efficient with the football. I mean, 12 for 19 with 114 yards and 3 tutties is about as good as you can get efficiency wise.
Yeah,
I mean, they were good. Yeah, they were really good.
certainly. Also, let's remember two major contributing factors for the Chiefs in this game. Number 1, Mahomes played with the flu.
Yes.
Not an easy task. Number 2,
No.
Taylor Swift was not at the game.
Yeah, I mean,
And that
listen,
is the
if
deciding
you
factor.
want them to win, Taylor Swift's got to be there. If you
She's
want them
got to
to
be
win,
there.
she's got to be there because Travis
Personally, I
Kelce just
think
ain't the same guy. He just ain't the
Right.
same guy without her.
Personally, I think this was a major misstep by the Kansas City Chiefs organization not rescheduling their game around Taylor's tour. I think
So
if
true.
they would have done that and made that that the right move, the smart move, the Chiefs would have won this football game. But
100%.
unfortunately, they had to be selfish. They wanted to share their day with a day where Taylor couldn't make it because it's all about them. And they lost the game. They paid the price for it. So the Chiefs deserve to lose because they were selfish.
It
And
did.
honestly, if I were Taylor,
Yeah.
I would second guess going
This
to
is
another one of their games for a little while, just out of spite.
Yeah,
I'd go to
I would
Jason's games out of
protest.
spite.
Protest. Yeah, I'd go to the Eagles games and see how they play.
I would if I were
She's
Taylor,
an
I would tell
Eagles fan,
Travis
so
yes.
like,
True. I would tell Travis to sit out and come to Jason's games with me if I were Taylor.
and if
And
he
honestly, I
doesn't,
think he'd do it.
if he doesn't, I'm writing a song
Album.
about him.
Album. No, not a song, an
Album.
album.
Here's my theory: Taylor Swift is just gonna Travis Kelce's gonna wait to propose to her until like the Super Bowl after they've like won, and she'll say no on purpose just because that just provides her with such good content. She'll be like,
I
"Oh
don't
my
know.
goodness, this is fantastic."
No, we need. I think she's already. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I'm a fake Taylor Swift fan. I don't know all the eras. Okay, but I'm pretty sure she had at least one era where she was all lovey-dovey, and
Go
that's what we're
ahead.
going to get. We're going to
Name
get
them.
another one with Travis. Name the eras. They're all just based around her albums, right? There's the Lover era, the what are other albums? Got the 1989. Is there a 1989 era?
There is.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
I think so.
Hold on, let me
There's the
hit
folklore
up
one.
Google real.
I think
Folklore, yes. God, what are
that's
her
a good one.
albums
That's
called?
one. Yeah.
Why did I do that? Why was that my reaction when you said folklore? The Reputation era. I forgot about Reputation.
Ah, yes. My
Um,
favorite of the eras.
her Red era. Hold on, I'm gonna Google
You can
real quick
stop.
and make sure that the eras are based off her albums.
I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
They gotta be. They gotta be. Yes, they are. Okay, they're based off the albums. Okay, so we've got. Hold on. Let's make sure we get them all right. So we've got the Fearless era. We've got the Speak Now era. We've got the Red era. We've got the 1989 era. The Reputation era. The Lover era. The Folklore era. The Evermore era. And then Fearless Taylor's version era. Red Taylor's version era. Midnight's era. The 1989 Taylor's version era, the newest one. And that's all of Taylor's eras.
This is the TikTok clip for this week. This is the TikTok
I mean,
clip
okay.
for this week.
Yeah. The
Let's-
Chiefs
okay,
did not
so yeah,
slay
Chiefs,
this week.
moral of the story-
Therefore, the Broncos won.
I mean, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Thank you, Miller.
It's the pink robe. It's giving me powers, dude.
Ravens Cardinals. This was a surprisingly close.
Yeah.
No.
There you go. You're
We
good.
got
You're
so
good.
close.
You're. Ah, there's no more Jake. I don't know. I want to talk about Taylor Swift more. Wildest Dreams is a really good song. I like Wildest Dreams. I liked her in the Lorax. That was a very good role for Taylor. I liked her in that Amsterdam movie. That was another very good role for Taylor. Let's see here. What are some other good Taylor songs? Wildest Dreams, like I said, is very good. 22. 22 is a great song. God, why am I blanking on names? Love Story. That's my favorite Taylor Swift song. You Belong With Me, another great Taylor Swift song. I'm like I said, I'm a fake. Oh, Jesus Christ, Jake's been back. I didn't even see you.
I actually closed
I
out
was
the
just
tab.
rambling.
I was trying to close out some of my extra tabs and it did not work.
Yeah, I didn't see you join back when you did. That's my bad. But anyways,
Clearly.
what's the next game?
Ravens Cardinals was pretty close. 31-24. Surprisingly close. I would say. Surprisingly close, personally. Lamar is the MVP. He's the MVP award winner this season. Methinks Lamar is the MVP.
Methinks Lamar is him.
Methinks Trey McBride is him.
Todd Monken has done miracles. Yeah, listen, okay, Todd Monken has done miracles on me, dude. I love the Ravens' new offense. They're still using Ricard.
Oh,
that was the only thing I was worried about.
And they're using Ricard, and that was Miller's only box to check with Ted Monken was how much he saw Patrick Ricard.
Yes, it was.
We're seeing a good, healthy dose of him week to week. Gotta love it. Ravens are 5-2.
You know who else we're seeing a good, healthy dose of week to week?
6-2.
He's been an absolute stud. Justin Matabike.
Yeah.
I gotta bring him up every week. I fucking love Matabike, dude. So good.
A sack,
so
3
good.
tackles. Good.
He got a sack.
Yeah,
we
dude.
are so here for the Matabike
We are
breakout
so
season.
here for the Matabike.
We are so here for it.
We are.
Also, Justin Tucker missed a kick.
He's done that quite a bit this season. He missed like 3 in the first 3 weeks. He's washed. He's washed. No, it happened. He's washed.
No, are there any good kickers?
He's washed. Trey McBride. Shout out Trey McBride.
Yeah, Cairo Santos is the only good kicker.
No.
So
hey, Anders Carlson has only missed 1 kick.
Who the fuck is Anders Carlson?
He's a Packers kicker. He's Daniel Carson's brother. Drafted him this year at Auburn. Yeah, he's only missed 1 kick this year.
Hold on. Anders got drafted?
Yeah. They drafted him like the 7th.
Why do I not? Jesus. God, it's been a long time since the draft. I don't know why I don't remember that. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. Josh Jobs' last game before getting traded. It was meh. All right, well. Here we are. Sunday Night Football. Chargers 30, Bears 13. Miller, you have the floor, my friend.
I hate everything. The only good thing that came out of this game is Cole Kmet caught the ball 10 times. That's the only good thing. It's the only good thing. Tyson Bagent made some really errant throws, which I'm not going to get on him for like crazy. He's a D2 quarterback in his second career start. He's going to make some errant throws, right? The Bears didn't run the ball nearly enough. They could not establish the run. The defense was squishy, to say the very least. Tremaine Edmonds got hurt. They didn't use a single timeout. They played 4 quarters of football and did not use a single timeout. We played against Justin Herbert with a fucked up index finger, and he torched us.
Cooked, bro. He cooked.
We made Austin Eckler look like a real football player again. Do you know how mad that specifically makes me?
I hate that a lot.
That was the worst part about that game for me.
I hate that you would do this.
It really was. It won't happen again. He played against a fake defense. He played against Matt Eberflus in the soft-ass cover 2 zone where he can just sit down and Herbert will dump it off to him and he can run. It's not going to happen again. But Jesus. That's my thoughts.
Okay. Justin Herbert's really freaking good, dude. That's about it.
Yes.
I know that he played a bad defense, but he's really good.
Yeah.
All right, the Battle of Mid, Raiders-Lions. The Josh McDaniels game. This was the one that did a minute. And did Jimmy Garoppolo in, and their GM, and everybody. They just completely just cleaned house after this game. Jimmy Garoppolo sucks. He was terrible. He was awful in this game. He was so incredibly bad. And Jared Goff was not great either. He was bad. Dude. The Lions, there are no good teams in the NFC North, I fear. It's just the Lions need to show me something.
I think
Jahmyr Gibbs is crazy good.
I was going to say, I think the biggest things I noticed from this game is just how much of a game wrecker Max Crosby is. Because holy shit.
Insane.
Yes.
Should have traded him.
And yes. To me. And the Lions, the biggest thing from them is David Montgomery is missed greatly when this team gets in the red zone. And if anyone has ever wondered, if you're still wondering to yourself, why did the Lions pay David Montgomery and turn around and draft Jahmyr Gibbs? Go watch Jahmyr Gibbs in this game in open field, and then go watch the Lions in the red zone in this game. At their peaks, when they're going to get going in the offense, they're going to serve two different roles. Essentially, I mean, it's Swift and Williams cranked up to 10. It's Swift if he was a real football player in Detroit. The Swift we have now is not the Swift from Detroit. And then David Montgomery is just better Jamal Williams. So they miss Montgomery greatly in the red zone. I hope he gets healthy soon. They need him back. Max Crosby, absurd. And as a side note with the firing, have you heard the story that leaked that seems completely absurd and definitely isn't true, but also is apparently true about how Josh McDaniels got fired?
No. I know it was at 1 a.m. Eastern. I was very tired when I saw it, but yeah.
Right. So Josh McDaniels is apparently a big Halloween guy. And for Halloween, after they lost to the Lions, he showed up dressed as Mark Davis. And
Did he get fired?
And everyone was like, let me finish. Now, this is rumors, right? I don't know how true this is, but I've saw a couple different people report on it. He showed up in a Mark Davis costume, and they thought it was funny. Mark Davis went with it. And after a while, Mark Davis brought him lunch, and Mark Davis apparently is known for getting P.F. Chang's. So he brought him his P.F. Chang's order to really seal the deal. The two of them ate. And at the end of the lunch, Mark Davis goes, "Hey, check your fortune cookie." Opens up the fortune cookie. The fortune reads, "You're fired, hotshot." And that is how they apparently fired Josh McDaniels. That is the alleged story. We will never know how Jake feels about this story, as he is currently a bunch of pixels. Yeah, and it's not improving. So love that the Raiders fired Josh McDaniels and fired Ziegler. They needed to. I love that they're giving Aiden O'Connell a chance at quarterback over Jimmy Garoppolo. They needed to.
Story's fake.
Is it?
No way that happened.
Did you see that it's fake, or are you just calling bullshit?
No, I'm just saying no way that happened.
So you're calling bullshit. Okay. Maybe. No. Like I said, we cannot have me record Run the North ever again. I can never record Run the North again. I can never record this again myself. It cannot happen.
Yeah, there's no way we can do this again.
I am the problem.
This is bad.
Yeah. But anyways.
This is real bad.
Raiders bad, hopefully trending in the right direction. That's the end of the game for the week. Yes. Let's hurry up and pick these games so we can finish this before you die again.
Yeah, quick update. Geeks in first place in the pick board. Yada yada yada. 71 and 51 or something.
Rigged.
And Jackson Powers, J Powell NFL has taken back his spot in the fantasy league. So he's in first place. Congratulations to both Jackson for retaining first place this week. All right, let's pick some games and get out of here. All right, Thursday night football. Titans, Steelers.
Titans and Steelers? No. Give me the Titans.
I will take the Titans as well. Okay, Germany, Finns, Chiefs.
Give me the Dolphins.
I will take the Chiefs here. Give me the Finns. Jaron Hall versus Taylor Heineke.
Give me the Falcons.
I'm going to take the Vikings here.
It hurts me to pick against my boy, but that Heineke plot armor is too strong.
Yes. Bears Saints.
Give me the Bears. I'm wrong, but I must stay focused.
No. Okay.
I-
I'm gonna take the Saints.
I'm wrong, but I have to. I'm legally obligated.
Rams Packers. Give me the Rams.
Give me the Packers. Especially with Stafford not playing, or especially if Stafford isn't playing.
Commies Patriots.
Give me the Pats.
Commies Patriots.
Give me the Pats.
I'm gonna take the Commanders. Seahawks Ravens.
Ravens.
I'm gonna take the Ravens as well. Texans.
Texans who?
Bucks.
Give me the Texans.
I'm also taking the Texans. Cardinals versus Browns. Clayton Tune Master.
Give me the Cardinals.
But unfortunately, the Browns defense is. No, we're so close. We're so close. Who'd
Give
you
me
take?
the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals.
Who'd you take?
The Cardinals.
Los Panthers.
Who Panthers? Who
Colts.
Panthers?
Colts.
Colts. Give me Colts. Give me the Colts.
The Colts. The Colts. Give me the Colts.
Muppet scream.
Raiders Giants.
Giants.
Raiders Giants.
Giants. Large individuals.
I'm taking the Giants as well. Giants. Cowboys Eagles.
Cowboy. Not Eagles. Eagles. Caw bird. Wrong bird, but
I'll take the Eagles
Free
too. I'll take the
bird.
Eagles too. Those Bengals.
Bengals good. Win game.
Yeah. Give me the Bills. Chargers
Lame.
Jets.
Charges.
Give me the Chargers. Okay. I'm scared. All right. We want to thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Run the North podcast. Please be sure to do everything you can to help grow the podcast. Go follow us on all the socials at Run the North Pod everywhere. Run the North Pod on YouTube, at Run the North Pod on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. We will see you guys next time.
Adios.